the sky filled with ships from every direction. Some were small and fast, like silver insects. Others were massive, shaped like floating fortresses. Their lights cut through the air as they circled the mountain, scanning everything below. Eli stood behind Varn, clutching the dragon's warm scales tightly. His heart raced. He had never seen so many ships in his life. Some were from the Galactic Council. Others belonged to unknown species. All of them had one reason for coming. They wanted him. Varn stepped forward, wings half spread, blocking every path to the boy. No one will touch him, the dragon growled. A council ship hovered lowest, opening a loudspeaker. Ancient creature, we do not wish to destroy you. Hand over the human child. The galaxy must not let the Primarch heir rise. Another ship responded angrily. Do not listen to the council. Humans were the builders of the first empire. We need the heir to bring peace. A third voice cut in. The heir is too dangerous. Capture him before he activates the gate. The mountain valley became a storm of voices, warnings, and fear. Every species wanted something different: power, safety, truth, or control. But none of them cared about Eli as a person. Only Varn did. The dragon lowered his head to look at the boy. Eli, stay close to me. Whatever happens, you do not run alone. I won't leave you, Eli whispered above them. The symbol on Ellie's arm glowed again. The awakened gate responded. The circular structure lit up, shining like a rising sun. A column of warm gold light surrounded Eli and Varn. The ships above stopped moving, confused. What is that light? Is the gate activating again? No, this is something different. Eli looked down at his arm and then at Varn. I didn't try to do anything. It is not you alone. Varn said softly. It is reacting to your bond. Our bond? Eli asked. Yes, Varn said. The gate awakens only for truth, and the truth between us is strong. Eli felt warmth spread through his chest, not fear, not pressure, but something like hope. The first empire's message. Eve gate pulsed again. Then a new voice echoed across the valley, calm, human, and ancient. It was not loud, but every ship, every scanner, every creature heard it clearly. To all who hear this message, fear not the heir. The crowd above grew silent. The first empire created guardians, not rulers. A hologram appeared above the gate, a tall human figure with gentle eyes and peaceful armor. Everyone in the valley stared, shocked. Our heirs were meant to bring unity, not power. To heal wounds between species, not open them. To remind the galaxy that strength is not in armies, but in compassion. Varn and Eli watched the figure with wide eyes. The hologram continued. The heir is just a child. His guide by our design is the last dragon. Together, they awaken what we left behind, not destruction, but peace. The ships above started whispering among themselves. The dragon is his guardian? An heir and a dragon together. That was in the old stories. Are we wrong to fear them? For the first time, many of the arriving ships hesitated. The council's last attempt, but the council ship did not hesitate. Their captain stepped forward on the communicator, voice cold and shaking with fear. This message is nothing but old propaganda. Dragons and humans together brought chaos before. They will do it again. Varn snarled. You know nothing of us. We know enough. The captain shouted. If the heir rises, the council loses control of the galaxy. We cannot allow that. Eli felt anger for the first time. He stepped in front of Varn, lifting his glowing arm. You aren't scared of danger, Eli said. You're scared of losing power. The captain froze. The boy's voice was steady, brave, and young. But each word struck like truth. You chased me, Eli continued, not to protect others, but to protect your rule. The gate glowed brighter behind him, as if agreeing. Varn stood tall and proud. The ships listened. The council captain tried one last time. Human boy, you cannot control what you are. You will bring war. Eli shook his head. No, I will bring peace. Because I have someone who protects me, and I want to protect others the same way. He placed his small hand on Varn's warm scales. He is my family. Those words echoed in the mountain air. Simple and pure. The council captain hesitated just long enough, and the other ships turned against him. A deep voice from a large red cruiser boomed. The air chooses peace. We will not allow you to harm him. Another shouted, the council has lied for generations. The air stays with the dragon. One by one, dozens of ships aimed their weapons at the council vessel. The captain panicked. Stop! You are making a mistake. But it was too late. The council ship retreated rapidly, vanishing into the clouds, leaving the mountain quiet again. A new beginning. Ships that remained descended slowly. Instead of weapons, they lowered lights of welcome and curiosity. A peaceful voice spoke from a gentle, golden-colored ship. Human child. May we approach? Eli looked at Varn. The dragon nodded softly. Only if you wish, Eli. Eli nodded back. Yes, you can come. A group of peaceful representatives landed, aliens with soft eyes, calm movements, and no weapons. They walked slowly to avoid frightening the boy. Eli stood beside Varn, not hiding, not shaking. One representative bowed respectfully. We came because we feared you. But now, we see we were wrong. Another added, the galaxy does not need another war. It needs hope. Eli smiled shyly. I'm not special. I'm just me. That is enough, the representative said warmly. Your courage woke something ancient, something the galaxy forgot. And your dragon, another alien said, is not a monster. He is a guardian. Varn lowered his head humbly. I only protected what mattered. You protected the future, the alien replied. The earth shook like something giant was waking under the mountain. Stones rolled down the slopes, trees trembled, and the air filled with a deep humming sound. Eli grabbed Varn's leg for balance as cracks spread across the ground like glowing lines of light. What's happening? Eli shouted, trying to stay on his feet. Varn's wings opened halfway, ready to shield the boy from falling debris. The dragon's eyes were filled with confusion and worry. I do not know, Varn said, his voice low. But whatever it is, it's reacting to you. Eli looked down at the glowing symbol on his arm. The mark pulsed brightly, glowing like a beating star. The light on the ground responded, growing wider and brighter. A large stone slab near the base of the mountain shifted, rising slowly as if pulled by invisible hands. Dust exploded around it. Beneath the slab, something metal and ancient began to reveal itself, shining silver mixed with gold. Ellie's heart pounded. Is that a ship? No, Varn whispered. It is older than any ship I have seen. The humming became louder. Varn moved Eli behind his foreleg to protect him as a huge circular gate, lifted from the ground tall as a tower, covered in symbols and patterns neither of them had seen before. Eli stared. Speechless, the gate glowed with the same light as the mark on his arm. Varn breathed in sharply. This is impossible. This technology is. Ancient Eli touched his arm. I didn't do it on purpose. I don't even understand what this is. You do not need to understand, Varn said gently. You only need to stay with me. Suddenly, a beam of light shot upward from the gate into the sky. It sliced through the clouds, straight into the upper atmosphere. The beam was so bright it could be seen from space and far, far above the planet. Other ships saw it, a shock through the galaxy high in orbit. The council ship that had attacked earlier stopped fleeing. Its scanners beeped rapidly, signal detected. A crew member shouted, ancient frequency, unknown origin. The captain paled. Impossible. Those structures were myths. It came from the dragon's mountain, another said. The human boy activated it. The captain's voice shook. Report to the council immediately. If the stories are true, the galaxy is in danger. But not danger from the boy. Danger from the truth. Back on the mountain, beam of light faded slowly, leaving the gate fully awakened. Strange symbols along its edge glowed like tiny stars. The air around it felt warm, alive, buzzing with energy. Eli stepped closer, feeling a pull in his chest as if the gate was calling to him. Varn reached out a wing to block him. Not too close, Eli. I think it wants me to come, the boy whispered. That does not mean it is safe, Varn warned. The ground suddenly stopped shaking. Silence fell across the valley. Birds returned to the trees, confused but unharmed. The forest's usual calmness slowly returned, but Varn could sense everything had changed. Eli looked up at him. Varn, what is this place? I believe, the dragon said slowly, that this is a relic from the first human empire. A gate, a beacon. Something meant to awaken only when someone of that bloodline appeared. Like me? Yes, Varn said. Like you. Eli looked at his glowing arm again, then at the gate. But why would they want a kid? Why not a grown human? Perhaps, Varn said softly, because a child's heart is pure. Or perhaps because you are not just any child. Ellie's chest tightened. He didn't feel special. He didn't feel powerful. He felt scared and overwhelmed. But I'm just Eli, he whispered. Varn lowered his giant head and touched Ellie's shoulder gently. You're Eli. That is enough. The boy looked up, comforted by the dragon's warm breath. But their moment of calm ended when Varn's sharp ears heard something far away thrusters. Smaller than the first ship, but many of them. He turned his head toward the horizon. They are coming. Ellie's eyes widened. More ships. Yes, Varn said. And not only the council. Others will come now. Some curious. Some frightened. Some dangerous. But what do they want? To know the truth, Varn said. The truth you awakened. The truth they tried to hide. Eli looked scared again. What do we do? The dragon's tail curled protectively around him. We survive. Together. The gate speaks with warning. The symbols on the gate shifted. Lines of light moved across its surface like living threads. Then a voice echoed soft, calm, and ancient. Not loud, but clear enough to fill the entire valley. Air detected. Eli jumped. What was that? Varn stiffened. The gate is speaking. Primarch sequence started. Bloodline confirmed, awaiting command. Eli trembled. It's talking to me. Varn lowered his head closer. Do not be afraid. Speak if you want, or stay silent. You choose. Eli swallowed hard. What is Primarch? Varn had heard the word only in whispers of old dragon stories. It means a leader, a chosen one, someone meant to guide the galaxy. Me? Eli whispered in disbelief. The gate reacted again. The air has returned. A warm glow surrounded Eli like a soft shield. He felt weightless for a moment. His heart pounded with confusion. I don't want to be a leader, he said quietly. I just want to stay with you. Varn wrapped his wing around the boy. Then we stay. Whatever comes, we face it together. Eli leaned into the dragon's warm scales. The ancient voice faded, but Varn knew something important had changed. The galaxy once believed humans were dangerous only because of their courage and stubborn hearts. They had no idea humans carried power older than empires. Shadows in the sky, a loud distant thunder echoed again. Varn looked up, and his chest tightened. Not one ship, but 5 ships entered the atmosphere, different sizes, different colors, different species. The first ship broadcast a message, attention. An known power signal detected. Stand down and identify yourselves. The second ship shouted, the Primarch beacon is active. All forces advance. Another voice added, do not harm the heir. We need him alive. And one more voice, capture the dragon. The first empire must be restored. Eli hid behind Varn as the sky filled with lights from the arriving ships. Varn. They all want me. The dragon's voice grew deep and steady. Yes, and they will not reach you. But there are too many, Eli whispered. Varn's eyes glowed with fierce determination. I have protected this mountain for centuries. I can protect one boy. Eli grabbed his wing tightly. I trust you. The dragon took a deep breath, and as the ships descended, the ground trembled again, this time not from ancient power, but from the armies of the galaxy coming to claim a child who had awakened the truth they feared. The sky shook with the loud hum of engines as the Galactic Council ship hovered above the mountain. Its metal frame glowed with cold blue lights, and mechanical wings unfolded like blades ready for war. Varn circled in the air, watching its every movement carefully. The ship was large, armed, and designed for hunting. But he had something they didn't, the will to protect. He flew toward the ship, wings beating strong and steady. The ship's scanners followed him, preparing weapons. A deep voice echoed from the speakers again. This is your final warning. Hand over the human child. Varn's voice thundered back, steady and firm. He is under my care. I will not surrender him. The ship responded with a bright flash, its first shot. A beam of blue energy shot through the sky, striking the air near Varn. He rolled quickly, dodging the attack, but the force of the explosion pushed him down. The air cracked with heat. Inside the cave, Eli flinched. The boom vibrated through the walls. He ran to the entrance despite Varn's warning. Varn! He shouted, fear rising in his chest, but he could see nothing clearly. The light from the blast had blinded him for a moment. High above, Varn regained control and steadied himself. So be it, he whispered. His chest warmed. The old fire inside him, long unused, awakened. Flames curled between his teeth, glowing gold. He dove toward the ship, and the council reacted fast. Automated turrets opened, firing red bolts of energy. Varn twisted, dodged, spun, using the wind like a shield. His wings glimmered with power that came from centuries of silent waiting. Then he fired. A long stream of golden fire struck the side of the ship, covering the metal in heat. The ship shook, alarms echoing inside. The flames didn't break through the strong armor, but they forced the ship to pull back. Varn landed on a high cliff, breathing heavily. He was strong, but not endless. He had to be careful. Then he heard movement behind him. Eli. The boy had climbed the rocks as fast as he could, his small hands gripping sharp stones. His breath fast. Eli, go back. Varn roared, fear sharpening his voice. I won't leave you. Eli shouted. A second blast from the ship struck the cliff. Rocks exploded. Eli shouted as the ground shook beneath him. Varn lunged forward, sweeping him onto his back quickly before the cliff cracked in half. The dragon took flight again, carrying the boy safely. But the ship saw Eli now, and that changed everything. The speakers boomed louder, urgent. The human child is in your possession. Release him now. No. Eli yelled, surprising even himself. Leave us alone. Varn felt pride touch his heart, but also fear. The ship was preparing something stronger. The energy inside the engines pulsed like a storm building. They will not stop, Varn told the boy. They fear you. Why? I'm just a kid. You carry something powerful. A truth they do not want known. The symbol on Ellie's arm glowed faintly as if hearing those words. The ship charged a new weapon. A large blue sphere of light formed beneath it, brighter than the sun. Wind whipped across the mountain, pulling leaves from branches. Varn's eyes widened. It was a stunning shock cannon, enough to stun even a dragon. He had to move. He dove down into the forest, weaving between tall trees. The ship followed, lights scanning the ground. Branches cracked under the pressure of the engines. Eli clung tightly to Varn's scales. They won't stop, he whispered. I know. Then I need to help, Eli said, voice shaking but determined. Varn was silent for a moment. You already are, Eli. The ship fired the shock cannon. A huge blast of blue energy hit the forest floor, sending dust, leaves, and small trees flying. Varn jumped sideways, wings scraping against thick branches. He barely escaped, but the explosion disoriented him. He stumbled and crashed through a row of trees before landing hard on the ground. Eli rolled off but scrambled back up quickly. Varn. He grabbed the dragon's snout. Are you okay? Varn groaned. I am fine, just winded. The ship moved overhead, preparing another shot. Varn tried to stand, but his wings shook. He was strong, but the shock cannon hurt more than he expected. It pushed deep into his bones, numbing his limbs. Eli looked at the glowing mark on his arm. It pulsed like a heartbeat. His mother once told him, if you are ever afraid, touch the mark and believe. He lifted his arm toward Varn. Maybe this can help, Eli whispered. The mark glowed brighter. A soft wave of light spread from the boy's arm, flowing across the dragon's scales. Varn felt the warmth enter his body like sunlight filling emptiness. His strength returned slow at first, then stronger. He blinked. Eli, what is this power? I don't know, Eli said honestly, but you're my friend. I want to help you survive. Varn stood tall again, wings spreading wide. The old fire inside him roared back. Above them, the ship fired another beam. But this time, Varn didn't dodge. He jumped high, flames bursting from his wings, and soared straight toward the ship with renewed strength. He crashed into the ship's side, clawing the metal. Sparks flew. The ship shook violently. Turrets tried to aim at him, but he ripped them off one by one. Inside, alarms blared. He's too strong. We must retreat. The ship pulled upward, engines burning bright. Varn tried to follow, but the ship escaped into the clouds. Disappearing into the sky, Varn hovered above the forest. Breathing heavily but victorious, he returned to the ground where Eli stood waiting. His face filled with worry and relief. You came back, the boy said, running to him. Of course, Varn said, lowering his head. I will always return for you. Eli hugged the dragon's warm snout. Varn closed his eyes gently, but their moment of peace didn't last. A faint tremor moved through the earth. A sound echoed from deep underground like a giant mechanism waking after thousands of years. The symbol on Ellie's arm glowed again, brighter than before. Varn's eyes widened. Eli, he said slowly, fear and awe mixing in his voice. Something ancient has been awakened, and from under the mountain, the ground began to crack. What was hidden for ages was now rising. Eli woke slowly, feeling warmth around him that he had not felt in many days. When he opened his eyes, he saw glowing walls of crystal, shining softly like morning light. For a moment, he forgot where he was. Then he remembered the crash, the forest, and the dragon who had carried him through the cold night. He sat up quietly and looked around. Varn, the ancient dragon, lay near the entrance of the cave, resting with his wings folded. Even in sleep, the dragon looked powerful and protective. Eli felt safe. As he stood, Varn opened one eye, then the other, and lifted his head. You are awake. The dragon said gently. Yes, Eli replied. Thank you for helping me. You are welcome, Varn said. How do you feel now? A little hungry, Eli admitted. Varn nodded. Then you must eat. I collected some fruits. He used his giant claw to slide a stone bowl filled with purple and yellow fruits toward the boy. Eli picked one, sniffed it, and took a bite. It tasted sweet, almost like honey. He smiled. This is good, he said happily. Varn watched him with quiet pleasure. Eat slowly. They are strong fruits. As Eli ate, he felt Varn's eyes studying him carefully, not with suspicion, but with deep curiosity. The dragon's gaze kept drifting to the mark on the boy's arm. Eli noticed. Do you know what this mark is? He asked. Varn hesitated. I know it is old and important, but I cannot say more until I understand. Eli looked down. My mother told me it meant I was special, but she never said why. Varn felt a pang in his heart. The boy spoke softly, but the pain behind his words was clear. What happened to your family? Varn asked gently. Eli lowered his head. Our ship was attacked. I don't know by who. My mother put me in an escape pod and told me not to cry. Then she closed the door. Everything shook, and then I woke up here. Varn's voice softened. I am sorry, Eli. For a moment, they both stayed quiet. The cave felt warm, but the memory made the boy tremble slightly. Varn lowered his massive tail and curled it around the stone bed, creating a protective circle. You are safe now, he said. Eli nodded, taking a long breath. But safety would not last long, and Varn knew it. Outside the cave, the mysterious light in the sky was growing brighter each hour. A ship was approaching this forgotten planet, and it was not a trading ship. Its pattern, its movement, and its energy signature all felt like hunters. Varn had seen ships like this before, and none of them ever came in peace. Inside the cave, Eli asked the dragon, Can I go outside today? Varn thought carefully. He did not wish to frighten the boy, but he also could not lie. Yes, he said, but stay close to me. The forest is large. Eli smiled and jumped down from the stone bed. Varn moved slowly, allowing the boy to climb onto his strong forearm. Then the dragon lowered himself until Eli could climb onto his back, settling between two warm scales. Hold tight, said Varn. I will, Eli said cheerfully. The dragon stepped out of the cave and into the fresh morning air. The sky was clear, the light golden. Birds with bright green wings flew between the trees, and the wind carried the scent of wildflowers. Ellie's eyes shone with wonder. It's beautiful. This world has been my home for a long time, Varn said. I am glad someone else can see its beauty. They moved through the forest together, the dragon walking slowly so the ground would not shake too much. Eli leaned forward with excitement each time they saw something new, a glowing blue flower, a silver stream, or a floating insect with rainbow wings, for the first time since the crash. Eli laughed. Varn felt something warm inside him again. He liked that sound, soft, natural, and alive. He realized he had not heard laughter in centuries, but his peaceful moment was interrupted by the faintest rumble in the sky, a sound only dragons could hear. The ship was close. Varn stopped walking. "What's wrong?" Eli asked. "Nothing yet," Varn said calmly, though his chest felt tight. "Come, we must return." Eli did not argue. He held tightly as Varn turned and made his way back up the mountain. Inside the cave again, Varn gently placed Eli on the stone bed. "Eli," he said softly, "listen to me." The boy looked up, confused. "I need you to stay inside the cave today. Do not leave until I say so." "But why?" Eli asked. "Did I do something wrong?" "No," Varn said quickly. "You did nothing wrong. But I must check something outside." Eli frowned. "Will you be gone long?" "No," Varn promised. "And I will not leave you alone. I will always return." Eli nodded slowly. "Okay." The boy trusted him. That trust made Varn's heart feel heavier. He wished he could give Eli a normal day. But danger was moving toward them, and he needed to prepare. Varn stepped outside the cave and looked toward the sky. A silver ship broke through the clouds, moving silently but swiftly. It was marked with the symbol of the Galactic Council, the central authority of hundreds of worlds. Varn's breath grew heavy. If the council was here, then they knew about the escape pod. They knew a human child survived. They knew the mark, and they were not here to help. Varn spread his wings slowly, shadows rising across the ground. "I will protect him," he whispered. As the ship came closer, he flew upward, powerful wings cutting through the air. The ship turned sharply, scanning him with bright beams. Varn avoided the light and circled higher. A message crackled through the ship's speakers. "Ancient creature, stand down. We seek the human boy. Give him to us." Varn's eyes narrowed. "No," he growled. "He is dangerous," the council voice replied. "He carries something the galaxy must not see." "He is only a child," Varn said, "and he is under my protection." "Then you stand against the council," the voice warned. Varn's wings tensed. "So be it." Below, Eli stood at the cave entrance, watching the sky with wide, frightened eyes. He did not understand what was happening, but he knew one thing: his only friend was in danger, and he would not let the dragon fight alone. The old planet of Varn was quiet, shaped by mountains that touched silver clouds and forests that had never heard human footsteps. No cities stood there, no roads, no machines, no noise. Only wind, stone, and the heartbeat of a single ancient creature who lived far from the rest of the galaxy. His name was Varn, the last dragon the galaxy believed still alive. For hundreds of years he lived alone, high inside a warm crystal cave. The walls glowed gently, lighting the place like a soft sunrise. But even with all the beauty around him, Varn felt only one thing: emptiness. He had no one to talk to, no one to listen to, no one who asked him how he felt. Every morning he opened his wings and looked at the sky, hoping someone would come. But no one ever did. One cold afternoon, everything changed. Varn was resting on a tall cliff when he saw a bright streak racing across the sky. It looked like a falling star at first, but it moved strangely. It burned red and blue, shaking with sparks. Then it crashed into the forest below with a loud boom that shook the entire valley. Varn's heart jumped. He had not seen anything from the stars in years. His wings stretched wide as he glided down from the cliff, landing near the smoke with a heavy thud. Tall trees lay broken in a circle, and in the center he saw a small, round escape pod half buried in dirt. He stepped closer carefully. The metal pod hissed as steam escaped from tiny cracks. The glass window was foggy, but he could sense a heartbeat inside, fast, weak, and scared. Varn lowered his huge head and used a single claw to lift the shattered door. The metal bent easily under his strength. When the door opened, he saw a small human boy curled up inside, holding his knees and trembling. The boy couldn't have been older than 8 years. His clothes were torn, his face had small scratches, and his eyes were wet with fear. But when he saw the dragon's glowing yellow eyes, he didn't scream. He only stared. Varn expected fear. Every creature feared dragons. The galaxy told stories about them, stories full of danger, destruction, fire. But the boy's gaze was soft, curious, almost relieved. Very slowly, Varn spoke, his deep voice echoing in the broken pod. "Are you hurt, little one?" The boy swallowed and shook his head. "And no, just scared. What is your name?" The dragon asked gently. "Eli," he whispered. The dragon looked around. There were no other pods, no signs of adults, no ship in the sky. Just this one child, alone and frightened on a world he had never seen. Varn felt something in his chest, a feeling he had almost forgotten. Concern, warmth, a desire to protect. "You are safe," Varn said. "Come, this place is cold." The boy hesitated only for a moment. Then he reached out and placed his tiny hand on Varn's large claw. The dragon lifted him with surprising softness and held him close to his warm scales. As they moved through the forest, Eli looked up at him. "Are you going to eat me?" Varn let out a deep laugh that shook the leaves. "No, child. Dragons eat fruit and roots now. I only wish to keep you safe." Eli nodded, relaxing a little. "Good, because I didn't want to die alone." Those words pierced the dragon's heart. Inside the crystal cave, the air was warm and calm. Blue and purple lights shimmered softly on the walls. Varn placed Eli on a smooth stone bed and covered him with a blanket made of soft moss. "You live here alone?" Eli asked quietly. "Yes, for a very long time." "Why?" "No one comes," Varn said simply. "And those who do fear me." "I don't fear you," the boy said in a tired voice. The dragon blinked in surprise. "Why not?" Eli thought for a moment. "Because you didn't leave me in the forest." Varn looked away, hiding the sudden ache in his chest. How many years had passed since anyone spoke to him like this? He almost forgot how it felt. "Rest, Eli," he said softly. "We will talk more when you have strength." The boy nodded and closed his eyes. Within minutes, he was asleep, breathing steadily. Varn sat beside him, watching the rise and fall of the small chest. He felt strangely peaceful, as if something heavy in his heart had finally lifted. But deep inside, he also felt something new: fear. If someone had sent this boy here, would they come to take him back? Would they blame the dragon? Varn had spent centuries avoiding trouble, but now trouble might already be on its way. He looked at Ellie's arm, noticing a faint, glowing mark on the skin. It was small, shaped like a circle with a line through it. Varn recognized the symbol, but he wished he hadn't. It was ancient, older than dragons, older than most civilizations. It belonged to the first human empire, a civilization lost to history. Why would a boy carry such a symbol? The dragon's mind raced. If the Galactic Council discovered a human child with that mark, they would panic. Humans were already considered dangerous, unpredictable, powerful. And a child with an ancient symbol, that would frighten them even more. Varn's claws tightened slightly. He would not let anyone take Eli away. The boy had arrived lost and alone, and now he had someone who cared. As the cave grew quiet, Eli stirred in his sleep and whispered, "Don't leave me." Varn's eyes softened. "I won't," he said gently. Outside the cave, the stars shifted. A new light blinked across the sky, distant, small, but growing brighter. A ship. Someone was coming. And soon, the entire galaxy would learn that the boy was not the only forgotten truth living on this quiet planet.